We'll now proceed under the 5-minute rule. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Alabama, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield to the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massey.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Dettelbach, in February, Chairman Biggs and I sent you a letter concerning the pipe bombs that were discovered on January 6th. These were pipe bombs from over 3 years ago, and the investigation surrounding it. After months without a response, day before yesterday, your department finally gave us a non-response. To be clear, the response was wholly inadequate and borders on showing contempt for Congress. To quote from the letter, this investigation remains ongoing. Accordingly, pursuant to longstanding Department of Justice policy, ATF cannot provide details. It goes on. This is about the safety of Congress. These bombs were a couple blocks from here, yet you refuse to answer questions about them. If you don't have contempt for us, I'll give you an opportunity to respond to some of my questions here today. Are you willing to answer those questions today?
I'm willing to try within the rules, which longstanding rules. I've been in 5 administrations at the Department of Justice, Democrat and Republican, and longstanding policy of the Department of Justice in both types of administration, on both sides, has been we do not comment on pending investigations.
Right. That's a policy. It's not been through some kind of rulemaking. That's a policy, and you can say that to the media, but you can't say it to Congress. We created your department. How many ATF personnel were on the Capitol premises on January 6, 2021?
Again, I don't believe I can answer specific questions about the investigation. I know that that may not relate to the investigation. So I know that I wasn't here during that period. That predated my time on January 6th, the January 6th attacks. So I know there were some ATF agents who were called to help protect members of Congress. I don't know how many.
Well, that's not an acceptable answer. We've asked you this months ago, and you just send us a letter saying you can't answer that. Yet, according to a FOIA report obtained by Judicial Watch, there were 19 people here. So for you to say you don't know or you can't tell us is ludicrous. I mean, these are subject to FOIA reports.
Congress, I'm happy to also get back to you with information. If I don't remember all the numbers at the tip of my fingers, I'm sorry about that.
Are you willing to confirm that the pipe bombs planted at the Capitol Hill Club and the DNC on January 6th couldn't have gone off with a 60-minute kitchen timer if they were placed the day before?
Respectfully, Congressman, I do believe that this does go into the area of the investigation, which is ATF is supporting. FBI is leading that investigation, and I cannot comment on
We're 3 years into it. Who was the on-scene incident commander for the ATF on January 6th?
Again, if you're asking about the scene of the investigation at the headquarters, again,
you're not going to tell us who the incident commander was?
I'm telling you, if that relates to the scene not here at the Capitol building where we were protecting Congresspeople from attack, but to the other investigation scene, we can try to get back to you, but I will tell you, if it relates to a pending investigation, we won't be able to comment.
Does the ATF provide training to U.S. Capitol Police on explosive detection, detonation, disarming, or conduct, or simulation training exercises with U.S. Capitol Police?
We provide, the National Center for Explosives Training and Research in Huntsville, Alabama, provides training to numerous different law enforcement agencies. I would not be surprised if Capitol Police were one of them. I don't know about the training regimen. People are going down there all the time to get training.
Were the 2 pipe bombs on January 6th part of a training exercise?
I cannat comment on a pending investigation, but if...
Okay, well then I don't need to hear what...
In general, I would say to that, I think if law enforcement knows that something is part of some sort of a law enforcement exercise, they wouldn't be conducting that long of an investigation in general, but I don't...
In my last remaining seconds, I want to show you a video of something that you said on 60 Minutes.
And we depend on firearms dealers, many of whom are our first line of defense, who will pick up the phone and help us and try to interdict this. And for those who aren't doing that, I hope and expect that as Americans, we will all do that. But those who aren't, if somebody comes into your store in a border state and plunks down $12,000 cash money for one of these things, so that there's no credit card trail, I mean, my word, We hope that people will help us as Americans and continue to help us and not make that sale.
Okay, that's good.
And
Are you aware that it's illegal for you to create a registry of gun owners in the United States?
I am.
And are you insinuating here that somebody can't buy a firearm with cash?
No.
So why should a dealer call you if somebody's going through a background check and tell you that somebody is using cash?
We run a program called Don't Lie for the Other Guy, along with the National Shooting Sports Foundation. And there are indicia of straw purchasing matters where there are warning signs where people can contact us. And firearms dealers who are law-abiding business owners, and the majority are, I want to say that again here, they frequently contact us, especially on the southwest border, because cartels are using straw purchases to arm themselves with the kind of weaponry that results in death and destruction and the danger to Americans and law enforcement.
We're concerned because banks are keeping these records and giving them to the government without a legal process, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.